All right, so we're going to touch on these Travis Scott Fragment Jordan 1 lows, the most hype release here for the month of November. We're going to talk about what people are saying. Some people are out here shouting shock drop, but the fact of the matter is, when you talk about a Travis Scott release, I would just say to expect the unexpected. Now, as for the man Trav himself, he was spotted recently out here in Tokyo, flicking it up. I guess he's doing a little vintage shopping and no glaze. This fit right here goes crazy. On feet, got the Jumpman Jack, a model which it really feels like nobody cares about these, right? I respect the fact that Trav jumped out on his own, trying to do his own thing over at Nike and Jordan Brand. And just even the fact that he was given the opportunity to do this just shows how much respect he has over there. But as far as these sneakers, I mean, they're kind of releasing to a mixed reaction. I think really when you talk about Travis Scott drops, the only thing that people care about would be these Retro 1 collaborations. So I guess it's a case of you kind of got to give the people what they want, right? And as far as these fragments, right, people were excited about these. We last heard they were supposed to be dropping sometime like in September, which I believe Travis's team fed that information to all of the blogs, because as far as that date, which they were planning to drop, we then did get an official update from the Cactus Jack Instagram talking about the story continues November 2025. So cool, right? Just got to wait a couple of more months for these to release. But then in October, we started to see these billboards popping up talking about Tokyo, which at that point, people are like, bruh, if these are going to be dropping in Tokyo, like, why would you be dropping billboards in the States? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. But here we go. The date is approaching soon, and people are going absolutely insane. So here's the schedule for the upcoming Tokyo event, which Trav, he's not just going to drop these sneakers just in traditional form, right? He's going to create this entire circus of events surrounding the drop just to bring more attention to it. Plus, you know, to just bring a lot of more energy and money to the whole Travis ecosystem. So as far as the pop-up dates, which are going to be taking place in Japan, November 7th through the 9th, including guest collaborations, exclusive collaborations from Takashi Murakami, as well as Fujiwara of Fragment, which apparently the shoes are going to be dropping, I guess, on the 8th over there in Tokyo. Some boutiques are starting to raffle off pairs as well, apparently. But you guys remember, this is all centered around a big show, which Travis is actually doing. And as far as the last time Travis dropped some merch out here in Korea, this is what the line was looking like. So I would pretty much expect the same thing. People are going to be going absolutely crazy for these sneakers. And rather than like waiting all day, like literally just to be able to grab a pair of these, like if I really had to get these shoes, bro, like I ain't gonna lie, this line is crazy. I'd probably out here just go ahead and pay the $1,000 resale price rather than torturing myself going through something like that. But you see what's happening. People go crazy for Travis merch. They go crazy for his Jordan 1 collaborations. And this is pretty much what you can look forward to. But as far as the show, it's going to be a movie. Everything's all centered around this show because, of course, that's going to be bringing in the most revenue, right? And when we talk about a Travis Scott show, comment down below, man. Have any of y'all ever pulled up to one of these joints? Like, for me, the only time I ever seen Travis live was like at this little small warehouse party. And this was before he was even like big, the Travis that he is nowadays. And he was crazy back then. So I could just imagine like he's probably 10 times even wilder nowadays. So that's cool and all that. That's what's going to be happening over the weekend in Japan. But for us over here in the US, we do have a date that's floating around. They're over here talking about the scheduled general domestic release will be going down coming up on the 12th, which actually would make that fall on next Wednesday. So what do you guys think about that? That's kind of crazy, right? And of course, you know, all the speculation is going to pop out. People are going to say that we could see a shock drop happen. They're going to be releasing on Travis's site at that time, which it would kind of make sense for them to drop them on Travis's website, let's say on Wednesday, and then maybe have a sneakers app drop over the weekend, or maybe a shock drop anytime in between that. You never really know. And the whole thing with it, when you talk about a Travis Scott release, even if there's something planned, I feel like at the last minute, they could always switch it up. Like, it's easy for Nike just to make a couple little quick calls, switch up the whole release and everything like that. It's that simple, right? So again, we got to quote Mr. Unloved Ones. This is somebody that does have some, you know, inside information when you talk about Jordan Brand releases, apparently some connections inside to people with the brand. And even ahead of the original September drop, he was saying that this would be an official Travis Scott release. No sneakers app drop, but we've had some conflicting reports. Other people are saying we should expect the sneakers drop. I feel like at this time, nobody really knows. And as far as his most recent update concerning this Travis Scott release, he said for nobody to know the US drop is hilarious to me. But remember, I'm capping, don't know shit. So I don't know. Seems like he knows something we don't know. And as far as these to be an exclusive Travis release, hey, it could happen. But I would say that as far as this weekend, just to relax, that's where Tokyo, they're going to be getting their exclusive drop and everything like that. And then I guess coming up next week is where you guys can start panicking again for this shoe right here, which we've talked about how they're going to be releasing, you know, all the madness surrounding the drop, how hyped they're going to be, resale prices, which are exceeding $1,000 plus. But let's actually talk about the sneakers. Like, how do y'all actually feel about these joints right here? Because we know it's the follow-up. You know, it's the Fragment Travis Jordan 1 2.0. Last time people went nuts for these. Some people would say they're just plain overhyped. They did add the little bow tie gimmick, which I guess y'all are supposed to go crazy for the bow tie or something like that. But for me, you guys probably already know how I feel about these. Like, the Travises, not really a sneaker for me. When I think about Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows, I think of people that are like flexing, like, I got a whole bunch of money, I paid $1,000, $2,000 for these. It kind of gives me that type of vibe. So I think of people like Travis Scott, Johnny Manziel, Dana White. And obviously, you know, as a struggling sneaker YouTuber, I'm not in that company right there. So for me, if I was to be lucky enough and somehow get these joints in my hand, in my possession for retail, you already know I am not rocking them joints. Them joints are going straight to StockX, Go, eBay, wherever I can get the top dollar for. I'm flipping them and buying a whole bunch of GR pairs that nobody's really hyped over. But that's just me, you know, that's how I feel. But as far as this shoe, I know everybody's excited about the release. People are looking to get their hands on them, whether it's to resell, whether to rock them on feet. Look, I ain't judging you. The shoes are the shoes. If you grab them, y'all can do whatever you want with these. But as far as the release, it looks like Japan, you know, they're gonna get their little drop this weekend. It's gonna be insane. The show's gonna go crazy. Rather than just a traditional drop, you already know Trav's gonna bring the whole circus, all of that energy around to make the release even that more hype. And remember, this ain't no Jumpman Jack. This ain't no Zoomfield Jack. This is the Travis Scott Jordan 1 low, which for the last like 5 or so years since they've been dropping these are always the most hype, the most amount of entries, the most amount of people going for these via the sneakers app. So we'll see how it all plays out. But as far as next week, that's where we can start stressing. So comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the release. Are you guys excited about these? Are you looking to grab these to rock on feet? Are you looking at them to grab, make a quick flip? What's your resale predictions on these joints? And do you feel like we'll get a shock drop? And drop your predictions on how Nike or Jordan brand actually plans to release these. Will these actually hit the sneakers app, or will they be limited to just a Travis Scott website exclusive? JATV, I appreciate your feedback, guys. Drop your comments down below. If you enjoyed this update, smash the like button. Of course, I'll be back later to check on you guys for the latest sneaker news updates. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. Love.